guys, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Gifted Precious as always. And guys, thank you so much for the love of my previous videos. And if you're just seeing my face for the first time, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. You know you're the real G. I love having you here and thank you for coming back to watch my videos. Guys, today I would be sharing with you my personal experience and just talking about marriage generally. Now, disclaimer, I am not married, and I'm not married, yes, and I'm not a marriage therapist or a marriage counselor or a therapist generally. So I'm just speaking from the teachings of my spiritual father, yes, and shout out to my spiritual father, His Grace the Most Reverend Professor Daddy Hezekiah, the founder and leader of Living Christ Mission Incorporated and the pro-chancellor of Hezekiah University, Umodi, Imo State. Yes, he has taught me a lot of things and he has shaped me to the woman or the lady I have become and the woman I am becoming. And basically my personal experience. So I just want to talk about marriage generally, marrying as a believer. Marrying as a believer. So basically my thoughts, what I have learned, what the Spirit of God has laid in my heart to talk about, yes, and basically just more of what my spiritual father has taught me over time. And I think I really had it laid in my heart to share on my YouTube channel. I just thought, oh, I'm sure a lot of people in their 20s, my age, over my age, are probably having these issues or wanting to know where to stand or wanting to have directions on what to do, and there's just thoughts to share. So just stay back, watch without being biased, just be open-minded and let God speak to you through me. Yes, I pray that and I hope that you find something to learn from this video, from this channel, and just stay through, okay? And let's just dive into it. As usual, today I came in my notepad. Yes, this is my journal, and this is the journal I use in church. So I've just written down a few things I want to talk about. First, marriage. Marriage, as we all know, is an institution made by God. From inception, from the creation of the world, God created Adam. As we all know the story from Genesis, God created Adam, and then he found that, oh, he needed a helper, and then from his ribs he created Eve. Now, God did not create Adam. He did not create another Adam from Adam's rib. He did not create Adam and Abraham. He did not create Adam and Enoch. He did not create Adam and Joseph. He created Adam and Eve, two opposite sex, man and woman, male and female. Now, this is not my point. I'll talk about this probably in another video, but today I am not going to dwell on that issue, but I hope you get the point. Adam and Eve, male and female, the opposite sex. Now, that's fine. We all know that it's an institution created by God, and not just for procreation, okay? He said, he found out that Adam, man, needed a helper, and then he created Eve from his ribs. It's not just procreating, but helping Adam in the journey of life, helping Adam in the journey to Christianity on his eternal journey. Now, as a Christian, as a believer, God did not bring you into this world. God did not bring me into this world just to be with anybody. Over time, I did not understand this, but I will tell you my personal journey or my personal experience as I continue this video, probably later on in the video. God did not bring you into this world just to procreate and move on. Now, as a believer, I believe that whatever I'm doing, whatever goal, whatever I am doing on earth, my focus is to make heaven at last. Now, let's just forget those that would say, oh, or people that think that it's a fable story or it's just myth. If there is God, definitely there is Satan, there is the devil. If there is light, there is darkness. If there is hellfire, there is heaven. So it is not myth. But I heard Williams Uchemba in one of his Instagram videos, I think a few weeks back, he said, it would be good that okay, let's say it's a lie that there is no heaven. Would it be nice that you just live right, just play by the rules, and then go to heaven and realize that, oh, there's really no heaven? You don't have anything to lose. Rather than living a carefree life, and at the end of the day, on the last day, you realize that, oh, there's actually heaven. How do you think it will all play out to you? Now, that's a food for thought to you. So it's left to you to decide. And I pray that God just gives us the grace. I'm not talking because I am perfect, or I am good, or I have it all figured out, or I have it right. I'm in a learning process. I'm a work in progress. I am also at that stage where I don't know where I'm headed. I don't know what I am doing. But one thing I pray and ask God every day is, give me the grace to live right. Give me the grace to do or to key into your plans and will for my life. Okay? Now, as a believer, what is expected of you? You need a partner, because at the end of the day, one thing I have learned, one thing my spiritual father taught me, one thing I've learned from my parents is that you are not just accountable for yourself. If you are married, you're accountable as well for your partner and for your children. Now, you don't want somebody that would draw you back from the things of God. You don't want to be with somebody that is not keen into that part, is not keen into that line that you want to toe. If you are a Christian, you need somebody that you have to work together in synergy for the main purpose of making heaven at last. Because it is not child's play. It is not just a fable story. It's not myth that God will come one day, and on the last day, what would you account for? What are you going to be telling God? That because I married the wrong person, and that is why? No, like, you don't want that to happen. But basically, I'm just going to be saying, like, some of the things I wrote down. Let's say for instance, Isaac. When Abraham wanted Isaac to get a wife, yes, Abraham remembered his roots. That, okay, yes, I am in this land, but this is not my roots. This is not who I am. And then he told his servants, go back to my land, go back to my country, my homeland, and get a wife for my son Isaac. Yes, he could have easily picked up somebody from where he is, yeah, an unbeliever, and married out. But he knew what the married life, what marriage would stand in the life of a Christian. Samson and Delilah. It was Delilah that brought up the downfall of Samson. Now, yes, it could be that God just wanted to teach us. Yes, God just wanted to teach us. Everything that happened in the Bible happened for a purpose, happened for a reason. So it's just for us to learn from it. Now, Abraham told the servant, go back to my homeland and get a wife for Isaac. And the servant was like, okay, what if the girl doesn't come with me? He made him he swore an oath, and then Abraham says, oh, if the girl doesn't come back with you, do not force her. Now, the oath is no more binding because you have done what I asked you to do, okay? And then they went back and took a wife for Isaac. Because Abraham knows that, oh, my son Isaac cannot marry an unbeliever. God knows that, like, there's an illustration that people usually give, that it's usually easy for you to, it's really hard for you to draw somebody up, but it's really easy for the person to pull you down. I don't know, if you are standing at an elevated position, it's really easy for somebody down to pull you down rather than you bringing up the person. Yeah, it's just like that. Now, my personal experience, I remember some 4 years back, I was on 400 level, yes, and then I met this guy. It was perfect. Like, everything I needed, everything I thought I needed in a man, in a husband, so to say, he had it. It was perfect. It was good all around. It was comfortable. If I were to be with him, I would be okay, good, everything. I was good. We were good, to the extent that people would see us and say, oh, only if you leave this guy, there'll be a problem. If you leave this guy, man, you're making a big mistake and all of that. It was good. It was perfect. But even as I really liked the guy. Like, I would say I was in love with this guy. And then I would always pray, even as I was in a relationship, I would always say, God, yes, I don't know what your plans for me are, but the only thing I want is for me to key into your plans for my life, and that's all. I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't even want to make, the last thing you want to do as a Christian is to make mistake in marriage. Now, I'm not saying that people that have made mistakes or people that went to the wrong marriage are not Christians or are not children of God. But sometimes God gives us the signs, but then we do not see it, or probably we see it, but we try to downplay the signs, or we try to pray over it and then beg God to change the signs that He has shown us. Yes, I don't know if you get my point. Now, I prayed to God and said, God, I want your plans for my life to actualize. I don't know what it is, but if this is the person for me, then good. Truth be told, if He had proposed then, I would have accepted. Yes, if he had asked me to marry him, I would have accepted. Yeah, no questions. But at a point, say 1 year after the relationship, we were discussing about something, and then something came up about the Bible, and then we had to argue. At that point, he said something that really struck me, and in my head immediately, I'm like, Wenye, is this who you want to be with? At that point, I knew there was a problem, but I kept on praying. I said, God, this is the first sign I saw, but I didn't want to take it as a sign. Now, God has shown me the first sign, but I didn't want to take it as a sign. I prayed to God and say, oh, probably it's not. We were of different denominations. We were Christians. He is a Christian, I'm a Christian, but we do not attend the same church. I did not have a problem with that. I really did not have a problem with that at the time, because I'm like, oh, he's a Christian, I'm a Christian, he's good all around. We had a balance, and I had attended his church a few times. And then I spoke to my friend. I said, babe, see what I am going through. This is what is happening. And she says, pray about it and tell him to come to your church. And then I call him and say, oh, babe, yeah, please, can you come to my church? Maybe let's just fix a day when you come to church. And then he says, outrightly, I cannot come to your church. And I said, no, I am not saying we should go to a herbalist. I'm saying you should come to my church. I'm not saying you should change your church, but probably just come visit my church for a day or so. Just come and let's see how. I've come to your church like 2 times, 3 times. And he says, I cannot come to your church. And I say, it's my church we are talking about and not some shrine or something. And it goes again, I cannot come to your church. At that point, I knew there was a problem, because now this is not because he didn't like me. This is not because he's not a good person, but probably at the time, yes, not probably, I am not the person for him, and he is not the person for me, obviously, because God, at every point in our lives, He has plans for us. You have that person that God has ordained you to be with. Whether people say, oh, it's not true, but I know for sure that God has ordained that person for you. And in all of it, God will give you the signs. Whether, if you are a child of God, a true child of God, God is not going to let you fall into the wrong hands, and that I am sure of. That is something that I can say for sure, that God is not going to let you fall into the wrong hands. At that point, when he said that, I knew there was a problem, but then I kept on praying. Now I said, God, please, can you help me? Because I like this guy, I'm like, God, please, can you help me change his mind? Maybe just talk to him. At that point, I was praying against the devil. I'm saying, no, the devil doesn't want me to get married and all that. But now, this is God showing me signs that I'm seeing the signs, but I am not agreeing to the signs. There are lots of people that God has shown signs, but because they were blinded by love, so to say, they overlooked the signs God has shown them. Now, after that, then something came up that actually broke the camel's back. It wasn't even about religion and all of that, just the random stuff. And then I realized, oh, I can't be with you and all of that. And then we went our separate ways. Looking back, I'm like, this is God at work. Where I am now, by the grace of God, they are not on the same level in I'm still a work in progress, but I know that I have gone from a very low level to a better place. And I wouldn't say, if I had gotten married then, I'm not sure, but yes, he's married, happy, I'm happy for him, and I'm very happy with where I am at this point. But if I had gotten married then to him, well, that is a story for another day. But all I am seeing is there's this passage of the Bible that says, I think Proverbs 3 verse 5 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, acknowledge him and it will make your path straight. Proverbs 3 verse 5 or something like that. Yeah, trust in the Lord with all of your heart, like trusting God in all totality, trusting God in its essence, in everything, like just leaning on, like telling him take the wheel and leaving him to handle it, and not going back to take that wheel from him, because I know that is something we are fond of doing. We say, God, take charge, and then after a while you're going to take control of that thing you've given God charge over. It doesn't work like that. If you're letting God take over the wheel, let him do it in all totality, and it will make your path straight. And that's for a fact, tested and trusted. Like, I'm not saying this because I know God too well. Like I always say, I am a work in progress. I am still learning, but this is something that my spiritual father, which I owe it to him a lot, and yes, basically, and everything I have learned and just personal experience. Now, if you're marrying or if you're thinking of marriage because of sex, yes, I would have to call it. If you're thinking of marriage because of just the flesh, like pleasing the flesh, you're going to do it the wrong way, because even as marrying a believer is important, there are still things you should do as a believer that marrying in godliness, marrying in holiness, because that is what God wants. Because at the end of the day, the goal for the two of you at the end of the day is to make heaven. So if you and your partner's views are not aligning, I don't understand where the whole point of marriage is headed. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to make heaven. At the end of the day, the goal is to be with God. Because you don't want, when you go to heaven or on the last day, or when you breathe your last, then the only thing, the thing that would make you not achieve this goal is marriage. I would rather say it's better I remain single. I want to get married, but it's better I remain single than marrying the wrong partner. For the fact, it's better I remain single than being with the wrong person. I don't know how to explain all of this, but you should be able to be with somebody that aligns with your goals. Don't just think about now. Think about the afterlife. Think about God and putting God first, putting God in the know, being prayerful, seeing the signs and not overlooking it is very important, because at the end of the day, it's still God is the goal, God is the aim, God is the last, like God is just the aim. Meeting God on the last day is just the aim. So just be with somebody that prayer. I would always talk about it. And basically that's that. I just hope that you've been able to pick up one or two things from this video, and God will just touch your heart, and God will help each and every one of us watching this video, and help us be better people, help us do better things, live right and live according to his will. And for everybody watching this video, I am not a marriage counselor, I am not a relationship advisor, I'm not a marriage advisor. I'm just speaking to you from my heart and speaking to you how it was laid in my heart. And I hope you learned a thing or two, and I pray that God gives us all the grace to live right, to do the right things, to live according to his plans for our lives. And I hope and I pray it directs our path. And I hope that you learned a thing. Please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please tap the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell so you can get notified when I post new videos. And just leave your comments, just tell me, just engage me in the comment section. Let's talk in the comment section. Tell me the kind of videos you want me to put up more, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.